I love my wife more than anything in this world. And it kills me that I can't give her a baby.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 20 Friends moments that will always make us cry.
I think I'm gonna go.
No, Joey, please don't leave like this. No, come on, you cannot do this to a pregnant woman.
For this list, we're looking at the most emotional scenes from the sitcom that always get us. Since most of these involve plot points, there will be spoilers ahead. If there's a Friends moment you couldn't be any sadder didn't make our list, let it all out in the comments. Number 20. Rachel must move. When Monica informs Rachel that Chandler will be moving in with her, and that Rachel will have to move out, she's surprised that her roommate doesn't seem to care. Monica tries to invoke memories of their time together, only for Rachel to shrug it off.
I'm really sorry. And listen, you take as much time as you need to move out, okay? There's absolutely no rush.
Okay.
After Monica confronts her, Rachel reveals that she essentially thinks the couple will back out of the arrangement. After all, they avoided another big step in getting married recently. But as Monica explains and the realization sinks in, Rachel and the audience must come to terms with the reality. It's the end of an era.
Oh my God, I'm gonna miss you so much. I'm gonna miss you. I mean, it's the end of an era. I know.
We may not have been their roommates, but this still hits us hard. Number 19. Rachel rejects Joey. Joey generally isn't a guy who goes in for romance, but at one point, he starts developing strong feelings for Rachel. After deciding to tell her how he feels, he has a meal with her. Joey is nervous throughout, but he eventually manages to get the words out.
I think I'm falling in love with you.
What?
I'm falling in love with you.
Unfortunately for him, she doesn't reciprocate. The two of them go on to hug, expressing that they care about each other too much to stop being friends. Regardless of what you think of this duo as a potential couple, it's hard not to feel bad for them both at this moment.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, no, Rach, please don't be sorry.
Who hasn't been rejected or had to reject someone? And both actors totally killed this scene, as well as our tear ducts. Number 18. Phoebe's speech about losing a parent. After discovering a stray cat exploring her guitar case, Phoebe is convinced that the feline is her late mom Lily reincarnated. Granted, the animal is a male, but that's beside the point. As you can imagine, Ross thinks this is utter nonsense, particularly after finding out the cat belongs to a little girl who's looking for him.
Yes, we have to tell her.
Oh, but it's made her so happy.
Little girl misses her cat. Crazy lady thinks her mother is in a cat.
His attempts to get Phoebe to return the cat are initially rebuffed. As part of her response, she gets to the heart of what it's like to lose a parent. There's no denying the character's sadness and entire speech hit home, even if you don't believe in reincarnation.
Ross, how many parents have you lost?
None.
Okay, then you don't know what it feels like when one of them comes back, do you?
At the end of the day, everyone handles grief differently. Number 17. Chandler loves Monica. Chandler and Monica's relationship may be a secret at first, but eventually the rest of the gang finds out. To that end, Phoebe and Rachel decide to mess with them to get the pair to admit it. Phoebe pretends to seduce Chandler, and after Monica and Chandler figure out what's going on, a hilarious game of chicken ensues.
She wants me to put lotion on her.
She's bluffing.
Look, she's not backing down. She went like this.
He's not backing down. He went to get lotion.
Each tries to make the other so uncomfortable that they give up. Their back and forth is hysterical, and some iconic lines are born from the ordeal.
I'm very happy we're gonna have all the sex.
You should be. I'm very bendy.
But ultimately, Chandler caves and reveals he's in love with Monica. While not the first time he says it, she reciprocates, and we can't help but melt a little every time.
I love her. I love her.
I love you, Monica.
I love you too, Chandler.
Number 16. Joey learns the truth about Chandler and Kathy. Chandler and Joey's friendship is arguably the most rock-solid of the group. However, things start looking dire for their relationship when Chandler kisses Kathy, Joey's girlfriend at the time. He agonizes over things, but eventually talks to his buddy about it. Joey is initially accepting, thinking that Chandler came to him about his feelings first.
So you like her, huh?
Yes, but I don't have to.
No. It's okay.
Yeah?
Yeah. You know why? Because you came to me first.
But when he learns that they already kissed behind his back, he's understandably hurt. Sure, Joey and Kathy's relationship was on its last legs and she's now dumped him. But the betrayal he feels is completely valid.
Look, I'm sorry, but there's nothing I could do. I think I'm in love with her.
Who cares? You went behind my back? I would never do that to you.
He and Chandler do manage to patch things up eventually, but at this moment, it's rough seeing these besties fall out. Number 15, Mr. Heckles passes away. Mr. Heckles would frequently tell the gang to keep the noise down, even when it seemed like they were being pretty quiet. However, Monica and Rachel's downstairs neighbor passes away suddenly in this episode, even leaving his things to them. As the group goes through his stuff, Chandler uncovers some unsettling links between himself and Mr. Heckles.
Our trains are on the same track, okay? Yeah, sure, I'm coming up 30 years behind him, but the stops are all the same. Bittertown, Aloneville, Hermit Junction.
He starts worrying that he'll end up lonely and bitter too. Ultimately, though, he grows a lot, recognizing his patterns and realizing what he wants out of life.
You know what you want now. I mean, most guys don't even have a clue. I mean, you are ready to take risks, you're ready to be vulnerable and intimate with someone.
Yeah, you're not gonna end up alone.
Plus, seeing him empathize with the departed man is surprisingly moving. His final farewell to the late Mr. Heckles in particular always gets us.
Goodbye, Mr. Heckles. We'll try to keep it down.
Number 14, Ross has to cut Rachel out of his life. Ross's marriage to Emily starts pretty disastrously. Saying Rachel's name at the wedding will do that. His attempts to make things work lead to Emily giving him an unfortunate ultimatum. He can't be friends with Rachel if he wants her to come to New York. Desperate to fix his marriage, he agrees.
When Emily comes, you're not gonna see Rachel anymore?
Well, look, I'm just trying to focus on the I get to see my wife part, all right? And not on the part that makes me do this, huh?
He struggles with telling Rachel, especially since she receives other bad news before he can deliver his own. Eventually, he tells her, and she's naturally furious and hurt. She's worried about being cut out of the gang. Ross later agrees to step away instead, but that doesn't make it hurt less for her, or for us.
No, it's not better. I still don't get to see you.
Well, what would you do, Rach? If you were me, what would you do?
Their heart-to-heart has us choking up every time. Number 13, Ross and Carol's honest talk. Speaking of Ross's spouses, his first wife Carol comes out as a lesbian and leaves him shortly before the first season. But on his first major romantic outing with a woman since their split, Ross runs into Carol and her girlfriend Susan. But Susan unexpectedly has to go, and Ross's date subsequently departs as the two exes are caught up in conversation. Ross is struggling, and he tells Carol that he still loves her.
No, you can't deny it. And besides, you're carrying my baby. I mean, how perfect is that? No, see, you keep saying that, but there's something right here. I love you.
Just because their relationship is over doesn't mean the feelings have magically gone away. Although they kiss, the scene sees Ross slowly coming to terms with the end of his marriage in a deeply sweet moment.
No but.
You know that thing we put over here with the pin in it? It's time to take the pin out.
We're moved to tears, and Carol's actress Jane Sibbett was too. Number 12, Ross and Marcel part ways.
I'm really gonna miss you. And I'm never gonna forget about you. You've been more than just a pet to me.
Ross becomes a father during the first season, but before Ben is born, we see him caring for another small primate, his pet monkey Marcel. However, when the creature becomes increasingly amorous, Ross is forced to find him another home. In the end, his application to the San Diego Zoo is approved, which means everything is about to change. Indeed, most of the gang delivers their goodbyes to the monkey at the airport, with varying degrees of sincerity.
I don't know what to say, Ross. It's a monkey.
Just say what you feel, Joey.
Marcel, I'm hungry.
Ross's emotional farewell may be interrupted by Marcel himself, but the love he has for his furry friend is something many pet owners can identify with. Saying goodbye to a pet is never easy, no matter the circumstances. Number 11. Chandler's speech to Erica.
You have every reason to be upset. We did lie, but only because we've been waiting and trying to have a baby for so long. And we don't know how long it's gonna be before we get another chance again.
Chandler and Monica get acquainted with Erica, a potential birth mother whose unborn child they hope to adopt in this episode. When she mistakes them for another couple, they initially go with it. But after they inevitably reveal the truth, Erica is hurt and changes her mind about picking them as the parents. Just when it seems like all hope is lost, Chandler speaks with her and asks her to give them another chance. He opens up about how devastated he is that he can't have a child with Monica. He also reveals that he considers her a mom already. She just doesn't have a kid yet.
I'll learn how to be a good dad. But my wife, she's already there. She's a mother without a baby.
The candid speech and Matthew Perry's incredible acting are bound to give you all the feels. Number 10. Phoebe and Mike's wedding.
When I was growing up, I didn't have a normal mom and dad or a regular family like everybody else. And I always knew that something was missing.
Phoebe is often used as the comedic relief on Friends during moments that need some levity, so it's rare that we get to see her involved in a truly poignant one. Even Phoebe and Mike's relationship is mostly played for laughs, but their wedding vows were some of the sweetest things ever written for the show.
But now I'm standing here today, knowing that I have everything I'm ever gonna need. You are my family.
Phoebe telling Mike that he is the family she's always dreamed of having, and Mike telling Phoebe that he loves how wonderfully weird she is, make us choke up every time we watch this scene.
Every day with you is an adventure, and I can't believe how lucky I am. And I can't wait to share my life with you forever.
Number 9. Joey moving out. While people tend to focus on the romantic relationships in Friends, is there a purer partnership than the one between Chandler and Joey? When Joey starts making more money in season 2, and he and Chandler keep getting into domestic spats, he decides it's time to spread his wings and move to his own place.
If this is the way you feel, then maybe you should take it.
Well, that's how I feel.
Well, then maybe you should take it.
Well, then maybe I will.
Fine with me.
Great.
Seeing how hurt Chandler is by his decision is devastating, and their game to see who will keep the foosball table is hard to watch.
You want me to, give you a hand with the foosball table?
Nah, you keep it. You need to practice.
Thanks.
Thank God Joey comes back for that hug. Number 8. Rachel's goodbyes. One of the climactic events of the series is Rachel being offered a job in Paris and preparing to move away. At her going away party, she takes each of her friends aside to give them an individual goodbye. Each one is sadder than the last. And while we expected to get teary when she said goodbye to Monica, we didn't realize that even Chandler would make us well up.
I just want to say that I love you. And I'm gonna miss you. And I'm so sad that you're leaving.
The saddest part of all this, though, is her reaction to Ross when he's upset that she didn't give him a proper goodbye.
So if you think that I didn't say goodbye to you because you don't mean as much to me as everybody else, you're wrong. It's because you mean more to me. So there, all right? There's your goodbye.
Number 7. Monica and Richard's breakup. Is there anything more devastating than a couple deciding to end things when they're still deeply in love? Monica and Richard's relationship didn't end with a big blowout fight, but rather the gradual realization that because of the different things they wanted in life, they would never be able to truly work together.
Do you not see kids in our future?
Oh, hey, I love children. I have children. But I just don't want to be 70 when our kids go off to college and our life can finally start.
The fact that they break up at a wedding makes it all even sadder.
I want to have a baby. But I don't want to have one with someone who doesn't really want to have one.
Richard's suggestion that they just keep dancing as Monica cries into his shoulder still gets us even when re-watching.
So what now?
I guess we just keep dancing.
Number 6. The prom video. For the entire first season and part of the second, viewers heard jokes about the crush Ross had on Rachel when they were teenagers. We didn't get to see it all play out, though, until the gang got together to watch Monica and Rachel's prom video. In it, Rachel thinks she's been stood up by her date, and so Ross steps in by getting dressed up to make sure she doesn't have to go alone.
Okay, be cool. Just be cool.
When Chip shows up, however, the camera pans to Ross, and we see his plain disappointment.
Oh, dear. Jack, how do I turn this off?
Of course, things take a positive turn in the present when Rachel kisses him after seeing how much he cared for her.
See? He's her lobster.
Number 5, Monica and Chandler's engagement. There aren't many times throughout the series that Friends goes full-on rom-com, but this is one of them. We all knew that Monica and Chandler would get engaged eventually, but it was a long and frustrating road to get there. After Chandler tries to throw Monica off the scent and ends up pushing her away in the process, the two come together, and Monica arranges a surprise proposal of their own.
And all my life, I never thought I would be so lucky. Yes, to fall in love with my best.
Neither of them could keep it together, and we couldn't either. Seeing one of our favorite TV couples agree to stay together forever always makes us tear up.
Will you marry me?
Yes.
Number 4, Phoebe saying goodbye to the triplets. As soon as Phoebe started considering acting as a surrogate for her brother, her friends cautioned her that it may be a difficult journey. She ultimately decides to go for it though, and carries his triplets for him. After giving birth, emotions are high, and she has a tough time dealing with the fact that none of the babies will be staying with her.
Everyone said labor was the hardest thing I'd ever have to do, but they were wrong. This is. Well, I had the most fun with you guys.
She has a moment alone with the 3 babies to say goodbye, and it's one of the sweetest scenes in the show's history.
Well, if you're gonna cry.
Number 3, Monica and Chandler finding out about their infertility. After Monica and Chandler got married, it seemed like the next logical step was starting a family, but things didn't work out so easily. Chandler gets a call from their fertility doctor who delivers some unfortunate news. Monica arrives soon afterwards, and he breaks it to her.
What does that mean?
It means that my guys won't get off their barca-loungers, and you have a uterus that is prepared to kill the ones that do.
He tries to play it off with humor at first, since that's his go-to defense mechanism, but eventually he reveals the heartbreaking truth.
It means that we can keep trying. But there's a good chance this may never happen for us.
It was devastating when we learned along with them that they both had fertility issues that would make it nearly impossible for them to conceive.
We're gonna figure this out.
I know.
Number 2, Ross and Rachel's breakup. After all the will they, won't they of the initial seasons, Ross and Rachel finally get together, only to have their relationship crumble when they decide to take a break, and Ross sleeps with someone else. In typical Friends fashion, the writers mixed moments of humor into the dramatic scene, but when it came down to it, there was nothing funny about this breakup.
This can't be it.
Then how come it is?
Ross pleading with Rachel to reconsider her decision to ask him to leave is absolutely heart-wrenching.
I can't imagine my life without you, without these arms and your face and this heart, your good heart, right?
Seeing all the other friends crying in the other room makes it too much to bear. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1, everyone leaving the apartment. There is no sadder scene in all of Friends than the last one. It was truly the end of an era when Monica and Chandler packed up all their things and left the apartment that we, as viewers, had felt at home at for a full decade.
Wow.
I know. Seems smaller somehow.
Seeing them empty everything out was hard to watch, and the final shot panning around the empty apartment is shockingly effective. Luckily, we got to shed some happy tears as well when Rachel got off the plane and came back to Ross.
Oh my God, did she get off the plane? Did she get off the plane?
I got off the plane.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.